Welcome to video weekly video progress 2. So this is the second video progress week video log. Okay, so this is week 2. Today we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. So for my last weekly video update, I did it on life progress, social media progress, and the cognitive, or not cognitive stuff, the things that inspired me. So that was the ideas that inspired me, the different videos I watched that inspired me. That's what I did it on. Today is going to be a little different. I haven't been watching YouTube as much in the last week because I've been so busy, and my life progress has increased a lot too. And so that's going to be majority of the video. So social media progress, my YouTube progress will probably be later on, and it won't take as much time or space. Also, my social media progress, my YouTube, specifically YouTube, I've gotten a couple more subscribers, but that's pretty much it. And so I can't really talk as much about that in this video. So that's what I'll be talking about. So let's get into the video. So for life progress, there's been a lot that's gone on in the last week. So let me pull up the date. So last week's video was uploaded on Wednesday. I did it on Tuesday. It was uploaded on Wednesday. So this video update log video weekly update video covers from basically Tuesday to this Tuesday. And so that was August 13th to the 20th. Okay. So that's the date. I want to set up the date. So I've gotten a lot of things done, way more than last week or the week before that, because we're kind of like a week in advance. So if I say last week, it means this week. So I mean, so last weekly update video, because I have had other videos. I've gotten a lot of things done, okay? And that's mainly due to how much productivity I have now. And so if you didn't know, and I made a blog post on this, I know I made a blog, I'll talk about that. Some of the things I did. If you watch the other video, I hadn't made a blog at that time. But back to the point, I started tracking my time on, I think, like Friday, Thursday or Friday. I'll have to look back into it. The specifics don't matter. Sorry, it's kind of cold in here, so I'm kind of shivering. I forgot to bring my jacket in the study room, and this is my study room. But the benefits of that time tracking are immense, at least for me. Now, other people might be different, but I've been tracking my time and I've gotten a lot more things done. I've had more free time too, which is why I've been able to get so much things done because I used to just go read stuff or do something for fun, and instead of doing something productive or something that accomplishes my goals. And so I ended up wasting most of the time during the day. So that was a problem for me, and I was introduced to the time tracking by the Project Bruce channel or Project Wayne channel. That's what it is, Project Wayne. And he recommends using a time tracker. And so I tried doing that and it worked out amazing, especially the first day. Now I did slack off on Monday or yesterday, and so I haven't got as much done that I wanted to, but for what I've been doing in the last week. I've gotten so much done. This is the most productive week I've ever had that I ever will probably. Well, not I will ever have, but I have had. Okay, so productivity has skyrocketed, like went to the moon. And so I've gotten a lot of things more done. Now my sleep has suffered too because I've been so excited to do things and I haven't gotten enough sleep. So I've been averaging an hour of like 5.5 hours of sleep on my Fitbit. That's what it says. 5.5 hours. Some days, one day I got like 4.5 because I went to sleep a little later. So I have a lot of things to talk about, but that's the reason I have so much things to talk about. I've gotten a lot of things done, and I also, another way I motivated myself, because that's the goal of this channel is to motivate me to do more things to accomplish my goals, is I also made a all the win goalpost or all the wins note. So I have a note-taking software, Obsidian, on my laptop and even on my phone, and you can make notes or whatever. And I'm pulling it up now. So I have everything I have done since Tuesday to Tuesday, August 13th to August 20th. I had it a little bit earlier, August 6th, and then I was like, wait, that's 2 weeks. And I was like, no, I had that. I was August 13th. So that was the thing I was fixing this morning in the notes. But I have everything I've done. So it's all the wins that I've done for the week. It's everything that I think I'm doing better at, that I've accomplished. Any task I set myself to, if I accomplished it, I put it in the goal thing. And that was to motivate myself. So it was like, all these tasks I've done, I can do even more. Like, and that especially helped in the couple of days, like after the first like 2 or 3 days, that helped because I was like, well, look how much I've done in the last couple of days. I can do even more. And so I just want to talk about that. That's how my productivity has skyrocketed. It's not just the time tracking, it's also I've been motivating myself with all the tasks I do. And I hope it gets even bigger. So I hope this note, I'm going to have separate notes per week, but also one big note. I've just came up with this idea while I'm doing this video. See, that helps me. Just that has every task I've done since I've started this challenge, or I've really seriously gotten into this challenge that I'm trying to do for myself. And so those are the two main things that have helped me now. So let's get into some of the things. I've done a lot. So coming off of Tuesday, I was looking at things to do, and I chose a couple different things to do. One thing is I was kind of excited about is I took a IQ test for the first time on the internet, and I'll put a link to the one I have in the description. The website I used, I think it's Cognitive Metrics. I would have never remembered that name before if it wasn't for how my brain's changed in the last week. So I'll talk about that too later on in the video because that was later on the week. That was like Saturday and Sunday. And so I took the IQ test and I got a 115, which if you don't know, 100 is like the average. 115 is above average. And now the probability scale of it, so how accurate it is like 20 points off. So you can be, I could be technically 95, I think. Yeah, 95, or I could be 135. And I took that test, and at the time, I wasn't really paying attention to it that much. I was doing it, but not really fast, and I wasn't really trying that hard. And then I saw the timer on there, and I didn't realize it was a time test, so I wasn't really going as hard as I could. And then I realized like halfway through and had to like start going really hard. And so I think my score could have been higher. That could be me just trying to like talk myself into thinking I'm smarter than I am. Or it could have also been the visual puzzles, or no, they're not visual, they're spatial puzzles. I did really badly on those. That was what took me so much time, and I ended up having to rush the last like 30 questions of the test just to like get through the whole test because I had focused so much on the beginning spatial puzzles that I didn't have time for the later questions or the puzzles because there were a lot of puzzles in it, spatial puzzles. And basically what it was is there were these like blocks and they put the blocks on top of each other and you had to say how many blocks they were and like some of them were hidden and some of them weren't. That was my lowest score of it. I've never been good at it. So that encouraged me to do the next thing, which I did the next day, which is I got some art supplies. So I went to the local Michaels, which I didn't know this was a thing, but it's like a art supply store. It's a brand name one, so there's Michaels all over the, USA. But that was the best art store that I could find. There was like a local one too, but I went with the brand big one, chain store one, and I got some painting supplies. And I got painting because I've always wanted to do it. I sucked at it when I was younger, so I always wanted to do it. I think it's also going to increase my spatial IQ a lot more than if I did other things, other arts, but I think it will benefit me the most in terms of spatial intelligence, but also there were other things I could have done, but I chose painting. But I'm sorry, let me get on to it. I chose painting because my hand tremors have been getting better. So if you don't know, I have hand tremors. You probably have seen it in the other couple videos. My 9 subscribers, I have 9 subscribers, and I know there's some renewing people who are coming back to watch my videos. So thank you for that. I'll get to that in YouTube progress. But I have hand tremors. However, they have been getting better. They were way worse. So if you kind of see my hand tremors or shaking a little bit, but they're way worse when I work. And today is the day I don't work. And so they are better today, but they used to be really bad, like very bad. And I've been taking medication for it. I've been taking beta blockers, and those worked, but I decided I didn't want to have to rely on medicine for it if I didn't have to. And so it wasn't affecting my life massively, but I couldn't do the fine motor things, painting or like, jewelry crafting if I ever wanted to do that. I never thought about that. But like I remember in high school when I was trying to do a chemistry experiment and I was in chemistry or whatever. I hated doing the chemistry experiences because I couldn't hold a pipette right or whatever. And the whole class noticed or whatever, and they were like, "Are you okay?" or whatever. And I was like, "Yeah." And they at first they thought I was nervous, and then like every experiment was like that. And then they realized, and I had to tell them like I have hand tremors or whatever. And originally one of my goals is for chemistry to become, a chemistry engineer, and then I decided not to do that. Partly because of the hand tremors. I didn't know if I could get through all the classes with all the experiments and everything. And I don't know if I ever want to go back to learn chemistry or not. Now that my hand tremors have been slowly subsiding, and I don't know if it's over the last 2 years I've been eating not better because my diet's really worse if you look at really bad if you look at a previous video. But I think it's because I've cut my body fat percentage down to like 15%. I've gained some muscle, and so I'm doing that painting to hopefully help me to control my hand tremors. Like if I get really good at the painting, maybe that'll help with hand tremors and my control of my hands. But also, I just wanted to show I could do something that physically is very hard for me because I have hand tremors, or that will make art very hard for me. And I wanted to motivate others who have that because I think it's a lot of people. Now, it's not a very large amount of people like diabetes or cancer in the US, but there are still probably a lot of people. And so if I can attract those people to my audience and motivate them to take up art or, do something that's impossible with their physical abilities, I'd hope to do that. And so that's why I've picked up art, and I think it's also a useful skill to learn. And I have a lot of time to learn it. It's not like I'm in a rush. So that's like, I've been doing art for like 30 minutes a day, 15 to 30 minutes a day for the last couple days since I think, let me look at my notes, since Saturday. And so I've done all that painting, and my paintings suck, of course. But this is a live progress video, so I have to talk about that. And my first thing I'm really focusing on the painting is the flowers. So I'm trying to draw roses because I think flowers are kind of easy in watercolor, and that's what I chose. I chose watercolor because I don't have a lot of space, and you can get like a palette thing with all the colors in it that we used to use in school for like 20 bucks. And I got some, brushes and two scrapbooks for like I think like 20 bucks. And so I've been doing that. That's been taking up like I would say like 15 to 30 minutes of my time because I gotta set everything up. I gotta get the water in a cup because you gotta use water to paint. You gotta wet the brush with water and then you paint whatever pigment of color you want. And so I've been doing that. And I've also been doing 30 minutes so I'm going to be going from stuff that takes a lot of time to stuff that doesn't take a lot of time. So I started doing back training, and I posted a video on this. This was my last video on Sunday, and I posted a video on this, and I had looked up, how to increase IQ because my score was 115, and most of them were like, "Oh, there's no such thing as increasing your IQ. Like half of it is genetics or whatever." And I was looking at stuff, and some said school can increase it like 0.2%, zero point 0.2 points, yeah, 0.2 points every year of school. Your IQ by like 10 points going to school and having education or through the school system. But someone said that you could do dual and back training, and when I looked that stuff up, and I decided to give it a try. And what it is I talk about in the other video. If you want more specific knowledge about the game, go watch the other video because it's fully about dual and back training. So I go into more depth, and I don't want to go in too much depth in that what it actually is. But what it does is it improves your memory. Sorry, this is messing. Your short-term memory. So it's like the RAM in your computer. That's what your brain has. It has like a RAM. I consider it kind of like a RAM in a computer. That's the best term for it, I think. Other scientists call it fluid intelligence. They're all different names for it. I just do fluid intelligence, FI. I guess that's the thing now. I'm coming up with that FI, and I do it, and it's very intense. It's very hard. I went all in on it for 30 minutes. I do it for 30 minutes, and you might say, well, you can do it for longer. No, it's very cognitive draining, especially for me because my short-term memory sucked. But I did it, and the next day, I was my mind had completely changed. So I did it for like 30 minutes on Saturday. I was so tired after that. I couldn't do anything else for like, I could only watch videos for another hour before I could get to my accounting stuff. And I'll talk about that. And so I was horribly drained by it. It's super difficult. I've gotten to dual three training. So if you don't know, you basically have to remember and a a letter and a position in a 3 by 3 thing. So the position is 9 squares, and then there's a letter that comes out in audio. So it doesn't just appear on the square, it just comes out in audio. So it's two inputs, two sensory inputs. That's why it's dual. You can go up to four, which is four inputs. I know, kind of crazy. I don't think if I'll ever reach that, maybe in like a year or two. And then it's dual in training. So the N stands for how many sequences you have to remember. So dual back two is you got to remember two, and then so it's like the first letter, the first audio. The audio comes in as a letter and a position. So let's say audio in position, then it goes another audio in position, and then a third audio position, and the first and third have to match, or if they match, you press a button. So for the software I use, you press A or L. A is for position, or L is for audio. Okay, A is position. You press those whenever there's a position or a same audio, same position, same audio. You press both at the same time if they both are. And I did that, and it was horribly taxing because I focused on it completely. I wasn't listening to music or anything because it's audio, whatever. I was focused on that on my computer, and I do it on my computer, not my phone. And in the first day or two, I used a website for it, but the problem with that is they only let you go up to two, and then you have to either do like a subscription or you have to wait a minute or two per game. And that would waste so much time. So I downloaded a software that does the same thing. And you can do quad in that one, unlike the website, which only did two, which only did dual. I think so. I don't know for sure on the website. But originally for the first day I did the website, and that was horribly taxing. And I was on dual two back training, and it was horribly taxing for the 30 minutes I did it. And the next day when I woke up, my mind had completely changed, I would say. My RAM memory, my fluid intelligence, FI, had gotten so much better. I would say it's a double increase, and that's why you don't see as many ums and ahs in this video. That's why. That's why the previous video I made on Saturday, see, I normally wouldn't remember this stuff, but I'm remembering it. On Saturday, I made that video talking about the effects of it, and partly I made that video as a test video. That's why in the beginning of the video, I was like, oh, it's an audio test video, and then I was like, now it'll be just a video I'm doing to test my articulation. No, that was a test video, but I ended up speaking so long, I just uploaded it to YouTube. And I was so surprised because my articulation had gotten so better. My RAM, I could remember minds and my and my thoughts. So I could remember the thoughts that I was talking about because I think in thoughts as words, so I don't see pictures. I have anesthesia or whatever, so I can't visualize. Like I'm very bad at visualization. I really even can't do it, and I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought that was like a metaphor that people talked about. No, I didn't realize that. But so I speak in words. So when I'm thinking and when I'm thinking, it's in words. So when I was at work and I'm thinking about stuff, it's in my head, and I always have these weird ideas or whatever, and my articulation got better. I wouldn't forget a word, or I'd be like, what's the word that means that in my head? I wouldn't do that anymore. And I was so shocked by it that I had to make a video, and that's why my articulation's so much better. It wasn't like I've been doing these speech exercises for the last like couple days, or I scripted out a whole video. None of that. It's just because my RAM has gotten so much better. And I looked at Reddits and everything, and they talked about this, like certain Reddits that do this stuff, or people who do this. There's the YouTube videos that I watched, or YouTube channel. I think it's Infinite IQ. See, I would have never remembered. I would have never remembered the channel like that before. I would always have to be like, I'll leave it in the subscription, or I forgot the name. But now I remember it, and I watched his videos like 2 days ago, and he was talking about that, and he had gotten like a 13 point increase in IQ, which is very significant if you don't know. Like, if you look at the things for IQ, that's very significant. Now, I know some people are like, IQ doesn't equal intelligence, and I agree, but it is a good score for intelligence because IQ can predict a ton of things. You know, if you have below, I think, like a certain IQ, you can't do certain stuff, or you're way more likely to go to jail, graduate high school and or not graduate high school if you have a lower IQ, a certain IQ score that's below a certain point or a certain range. And vice versa. If you have a higher IQ, you're more likely to graduate school and stuff like that. And so the IQ does matter. And he was able to increase by 13, which is a lot. If I did that, I'd be considered like a genius. I'd be almost close to Mensa. And I did the IQ test that's very reputable, and it was like $10 on the website Cognitive Metrics. I would have never remembered that. Cognitivemetrics.com. And I took that, and it took about 40 minutes. The military used to use it, and then they got rid of it because people complain, like, oh, you're testing on IQ, it doesn't work for real life. But so people got rid of it, so you can no longer take it with the military. They don't consider it into what jobs you should be able to do. And they had it, and it was like $10. I paid $10 for my results. But my memory has completely changed. Even long term has gotten better. Long term has gotten better, but short term is where it all came from. And I'm really grateful because I was like, well, how am I going to improve my speech? And I thought I'd have to do all these speaking exercises and everything to increase my speech, but no, this has helped so much. And my mind has completely changed. That's why I said go watch the other video because I talk more in depth about it. And it's already been 23 minutes on the recording video, and so I got to go into other stuff. So that has changed my life so much, is just that increase in cognitive ability and increase in the RAM. And so I took that dual back training for the last 2 or 3 days, 3 days, because I did it on Saturday really hard. Sunday, my effect of my brain had changed. My brain had changed. I think it's because I forced my brain to change. Because after I did the dual and back training, dual tube training for the first day, for that 30 minutes, I did it so intensely that it kind of like fried my brain. I had a headache for like an hour or two. And then I had to do accounting later, which sucked, but I just still did it. But I worked out my RAM so hard that I had to make some new software, better software to increase my RAM. And then on Sunday, I was like, "Oh my God, this is so different." I even told my coworkers that or whatever, and they're like, That's why you're not doing your job." And I was like, "That's why I'm slower on Fridays. I have so many thoughts in my head that were whirling in my head and connecting that I was so focused on that. And I was so surprised that I really was like doing like 70% of my job, my normal job, because usually I'm really good at Fridays and I can do it really fast, and that's why they always put me on Fridays, but." Sunday, I was like kind of suffering, not because of like I was all tired or whatever. No, it's because I had recovered so much and my brain had gotten so much better. My RAM had gotten so much better, and I was so shocked by it. So I kept doing it because I was like, that's the effects after one practice. What if I do it for like months and years? And I was like, I just had gotten it after one training session. Even if the training sessions aren't as good as Saturday's one, it doesn't matter. I've already gotten so much of effect from it. If I could just keep the same effect that I have now, I would be happy. And maybe it was because of other something else, but I'm just attributing it to my dual two back training. And now I went up, and I know I went up cognitively because on Sunday I did test myself in dual back. Okay. And so you have to get 80% in the level to go up to the next stage. Okay. I had been stuck at dual back 2 at like 50%. I did it on Sunday and I got to dual back 3 easily. Dual back 2, dual back, I call it dual back 2, but it's usually dual 2 back. I call it dual back 2. Dual back 2, I got it done at 50% usually the day before. And I was struggling very hard on that. Sunday comes around, I easily beat it. It's like intuition now. Because usually I use like a chunking memories tactic, which you can know about in the other video that I just posted. However, sorry, Burp, I didn't use that, and just on intuition, I passed it very easily. Got the dual back 3, and now I'm getting 50% on that pretty easily. And it's being harder, and I'm trying to get to. And so I know my cognitive ability has changed. My short-term memory has changed. And so that's just the dual back training, the painting that I've talked about, the cognitive effects from that. So those are my two like short-term tasks that I've been doing for like the last couple days. Now I said this would also start from last Tuesday to this Tuesday. So that was only the last couple days. What about the Wednesday and Thursday? What did I do then? And so those are my 30-minute tasks that I've really been doing. So Tuesday and Thursday. Well, let me pull up my notes. I set up my website. So if you don't know, on Wednesday and Thursday, I set up my website. It's tylerjunenblog.com. And I did it with WordPress. I paid like $4 to have my own personal website, so it doesn't have the WordPress.com URL in it. It's my blog name plus.com. No one had ever taken that name or that, blog name before that website name, so I was happy to get it. And so I made the website Wednesday and Thursday, but I also spent the last couple days like optimizing it. I didn't like the original template I picked, and I couldn't do custom templates with like just color without having to pay for like a upper level membership. So instead of costing like $4 a month, it costs like 9. I decided not to do that. And I just switched templates, and now mine's like a dark academia template, which I don't like that much. It's kind of nice compared to my other template that I had the first day or two. However, I want to do some more with the website, but the template kind of limits me, and I would have to learn a lot by WordPress, and I don't want to do that, so I just picked a template. I tried learning a lot on how to like set up my own template and everything. That took up too much time, and I wasn't getting there. I didn't know this stuff, and I have to look it up, and it was taking a while. And so I just decided to do the template, switch the template, because originally I had had a template when I first picked my website. Didn't like that template, tried to switch it, whatever. That didn't work out because, like I said, you need a higher membership to do like color stuff or whatever, or import videos, and I couldn't do that. So I just decided to pick a template academia template with like books and everything. And I've been editing the website a little bit, and I have some couple of categories on the website. And so that's what I've been doing. And I uploaded the first couple of posts, the first like two or three posts. The first one was on my time management, my time tracking that I started to do. And then the other one was about how productive or how my cognition changed on Sunday. And I had to make a post about, no, I didn't do it on that. I did a YouTube video on it. I didn't do a post on that. I said I was going to do a post on a YouTube, and then it was taking too long. I didn't want to spend like 3 hours on a video and post, so I just did it on YouTube. The main thing I did was the productivity tracker. And then I did another post, which was a post talking about my super post coming up. And so I made that website. I'll talk about the super post later on. I made that post and I made those posts and I did the website, set up the website. It took me a couple days of trying every day to get it all set up. So it's pretty much set up. I also set up the Discord. I haven't really set up the Discord. If you want to, you can talk on the Discord to me. Now you have my email. That's another way of communicating with me. You have my email. It's already been 30 minutes. Wow. Sorry. I'm getting off my train of thoughts tracks coming off. My train of thoughts going everywhere like a I don't know. And so I have three ways of communicating now if you want to communicate directly. You have you have the comments in my YouTube channel, but that's not really to have an in-depth discussion on me. However, you have two other channels. Blog, actually, no. YouTube, I don't consider those, I don't consider YouTube a DM, so you can't direct message someone on YouTube. So we're not going to consider that one. I'm thinking out my thoughts in my head. Sorry if it's taking a little bit long. I don't really consider my blog really as a way to communicate me. You can leave, I don't even know if you can leave comments on the video on my blog. I know I did in the previous template. I don't think in the one I have right now you can do that. So no, that's not a way to really communicate me. Well, there's two now. If you want to direct message me to with me in real time, I would say use the Discord. I will check that every day. I don't know the times yet. There are no one who's been on it, so it's the Rising Phoenix Discord. I have the link to it in my YouTube. Same thing with my blog. If you look at the YouTube description, you can see my blog and then my Discord. It's the Rising Phoenix Discord because I think it's like I'm like a rising phoenix. You know, I will one day look back at this day and thank myself for all the stuff I did, everything I suffered for 10 years, because that's the goal is in 10 years to change my life. And so that's the Discord. That you can direct message me. I've never really used Discord before, and so I'm not really good at it, and that's why I haven't really set up all that stuff, and no one's gone on it yet, so I haven't really set it up because there's no use for it. I only have 9 subscribers and a couple of returning viewers, so I haven't really set it up. And I have my email because I have my email for that's linked to my YouTube, and you can always send it there. I don't really have a lot of stuff that's sent to that email, and it was not one I set up, so you can send messages to there. I've been checking that, and that's for if you want to talk, but you don't want to talk in real time. Maybe you want to send me something or a question or whatever. Those are the two you can use because my blog doesn't really have like a comment section or a thing you can talk to, and neither does YouTube, except for the comments section. But like I said, comments aren't really to have an in-depth discussion, which is what I'd prefer, but I'd have anything really. But if you want to have an in-depth discussion, use those two. Why I use those two? I had a choice between these two and Twitter, and I could have also added a Twitter to it. I don't like the short things for Twitter, so you can only do like 200 words at a time, and I don't like having to make like a whole 10 Twitter posts for one point or whatever. And why didn't you use others like Facebook or Instagram? Well, they banned me. They've banned my IP address. They've banned my phone number. And I've been trying to get back my accounts on there, my old accounts, or even just starting a new one. Every time I try to start a new one, they say, "Oh, you can't use the phone," or you can't. And when I do it on my computer, they say, "Oh, you can't even use this IP address. You can't even use your location's blocked. Because we think you're a bot." And I was like, I'm not a bot. Like I tried repealing the process, and I'm a little little person on social media, so it's not like I have a lot of influence, so I can call up, the biggest names I can't call up Mark Zuckerberg and be like, "Can you release my accounts or whatever, allow me to post?" And so they've been blocking me. So like unless I get a new phone or a new house address, I can't post on Instagram or Facebook or any of the metal, which kind of sucks because now I know what it's like being canceled off of, just the social media platform everyone uses. Now I could do TikTok. I don't want to use TikTok because it rots your brain just the way it's made. That's really hard to learn anything. Just try to remember what you learned on TikTok or what you watched on TikTok. You'll pretty much forget and it's addictive. So I don't want to do TikTok. It's just against my value. I don't want to use TikTok and that's why I don't do short form content and I never will. And so I can't do that and it sucks because I'm doing painting and I want to be able to showcase my painting on Instagram because that's probably like the main place to post paintings and your artwork and everything, and I can't do that. So I'll have to probably use Twitter or something or use my Discord. I don't know. And it kind of sucks. And so that's why I did Discord and I did my Gmail because those are the best I can do. And Discord was the best one for real-time chatting or whatever, or if I can direct message someone. So I'll be doing that. And so that's basically uh Tuesday and Wednesday. And also I also studied for my Excel class and passed the class. So I'm no longer in my Excel class. If you don't know, I'm taking YGU classes and I passed it. I passed it, and you have to take a final test, and that final test determines if you pass or fail the class. And if you fail it, you can always retake the test. You have a certain amount of times before they completely ban you from ever taking that class again, and then you have to switch majors or not, continue at YGU, and it's like 5 times. Tests aren't hard. You get a pre-assessment that is basically the same as the test, but the just different numbers and different words are switched up. So there's different names for the companies and everything. And I'm in the accounting major and I'm trying to get it in a couple months. And so I'm in Excel and I passed it. And now the crazy thing is I failed the pre-assessment because it's all in Excel and some of the multiple choice questions, but it's in Excel My Educator. And but most of the questions you have to do stuff in Excel and then it grades you on that. And the problem is I've never done a test like that. It's always been the multiple choice or whatever. And so that was really hard. And so I failed it, and then I retook the pre-assessment, which you don't have to pass the pre-assessment to take the final for the class, the final test, which is proctored. However, I did. I retook it again a couple hours later after going through all the questions, what I did wrong, and I passed it. And then I took the assessment, which I was worried about. However, I did pass it. Now the thing is, it's a proctored exam, and so you have to have a webcam and they watch you, whatever. Well, first thing, I'm talking to the proctor microphone, whatever. And then I'm starting the exam, and then it says, okay, enter in this passcode into the My Educator to start the test. I do that, and then it comes up with a thing where it says, we need your proctor to put in a password, whatever. And then my proctor was like, what do I have to do? I know she did. She automatically switched. I text her in the box or whatever, and I was like, can you enter in the proctor password to give it to me? And she automatically sent me to assistants or whatever. And then a new proctor came up in like 10 minutes. And then he was like, okay, I need to control your mouse and computer and everything, which is kind of sketchy. I do think it's sketchy. Thankfully, I don't use this computer for anything weird or anything. This is like my school and work computer. And then he controlled my mouse and everything and put in the passcode or whatever, and it was like blocked, so I couldn't see the actual passcode, and it let me come in or whatever. And then I did that, and I did that test really quickly. It's almost the same as the pre-assessment. They just change up some words or whatever. Oh, my mic came off. Sorry, I gotta turn that. It's automatic, so if I don't move up or down for a while, it like turns off. So I just stood up and it turned back on because it's automatic light. Sorry about that. So I took the exam and I passed it in like 45 minutes. The Excel exam, I took the whole time, which was like an hour and a half. I passed this one. I passed the final in 4. I was so happy. I didn't know if I would pass or not, and then I passed, and I got most of it right, pretty much all of it right. Like I got like if the equivalent on it was like a 95% on a test. I passed that, okay. So that's what I was doing Tuesday and Wednesday. So Tuesday, I think I failed the pre-assessment. So Wednesday, I studied it and then I took the exam. And also, I did other stuff too. I on Thursday, I created to the eating fast food to lose weight video or whatever. That still hasn't got a lot of views. It's only gotten like 10 views. Now, my skincare routine video, which is what I based it off of, got like 650, while my fast food video got like 10 views, which is kind of shocking. I did that video because I want to reach more viewers with those videos, but also that's not the main thing I did for that. That's not the main reason. The main reason I did for that is I wanted to provide more value to you guys. So I wanted to basically s- tell you guys what I did to solve the problems in my real life. And so 2 years ago, when I came back home because I had depression and all that, I got another job, the quickest job I could find, which was Whataburger, a fast food place. If you don't know, it's a fast food place and like based off of in Texas, but they're all in the South. There's ones in Florida, which is where I live, but also in Texas and all the areas and everything. They're really popular. They're like a higher quality fast food. They're not like McDonald's or Burger King. Higher quality, costs a little bit more, but it doesn't cost a lot and it's still fast food. It's like the In and Out of California or whatever it's called or whatever that people rave about. People would hate me for doing saying that from Texas and California, but that's what I consider it as. And so I have made that video. Okay, sorry, my train of thought. I made that video and it hasn't got a lot of views, but I made it because I wanted to help you guys. So I had that problem coming in as I started to gain weight, which is good for me. However, I was eventually going to have to cut down that weight. And so I had to realize, well, what are the best strategies so I can maintain or lose or gain weight working at Whataburger when I eat fast food every single day that I work there. Plus, on the days off, I went to PSC or went to Pensacola, went to PSC college, library, or whatever, and I did work or whatever. And so I couldn't just go home and eat because I'd been spending like 12 hours at the library and I had to have food, and it's 45 minutes away from my home. And so I can't just go home and then come back. I'm already wasting about an hour and a half just driving down here, and then I'm going to be wasting another hour and a half if I just went home to eat and then came back. And so I had to eat out during the days I had off too. And so I was eating out basically burgers every day because that was my main strategy was burgers, is eating burgers every single day for 2 years. And how did I not gain weight? And I did gain weight, but also how did I lose that weight? How did I you know, gain 10 pounds of muscle, lose basically 10 pounds of fat. How did I do that? So that was the video, and that was a video based off my personal experience because that's what I wanted to do. So that was also another thing that took up time, and so that's what I've been doing. See, look at all the things I've been doing. I decided a lot. And now on that video, the editing was horrible because I had to add a picture of a selfie I had taken. So I had taken a selfie a couple days before, a shirtless bathroom selfie, no shirt on, what my physique looked like, and I wanted to use that evidence in the thumbnail to provide value for you guys. And I put that on there, and I had to make it as a thumbnail where I was holding up my hand like that, and then there was, a picture of me, in the selfie. I also had to add that to the video. I had to add it in like 30 seconds of my physique where I was like, this is my physique, it'll pop up on the screen. I had picked up a video editor, I downloaded it. I'm no longer using the script because I have to upload the video. That takes an hour and a half because my videos are so long. And then I have to edit it, all that stuff. And then I have to re-download the edited version, then upload it back to YouTube. It's too much work. It takes too long. That's why my update videos are sometimes not at like 12 a.m. They're at 2 or 3 long, and I couldn't keep doing that. So I downloaded a video editor, Photoshoot or whatever. It's on my phone, on my computer. OpenShot. That's what it was. OpenShot. However, I had used AI to find, the best free open source video editors that I can download on my computer. Well, it gave me OpenShot. Well, I look up OpenShot on the internet, Google or whatever, and I clicked the first one, which was a sponsored post, which took me to another website that had OpenShot editor or whatever, and I downloaded that one. And I thought it was legit or whatever. Turns out it's not. It's a paid service because what it does is it leaves a like watermark like halfway through your screen with the name of the software. And unless you spend like $15 to get rid of it as a membership, so unless you use $15 a month to use it, then it'll always be there. And so I was like, what the heck? I thought this was today, and it was like it was or whatever. And then I looked at the actual thing and downloaded, and it's not like this. So then I had to re-download the OpenShot video editor. Then I had to re-edit it or whatever. Then I had to save it back again, which also takes time too. And so even the OpenShot editor was way faster than the one I had gotten before. And then I had to delete that one I had gotten before or whatever. And like I said, I had to update it and re-edit it and everything. And the problem with open source is the GUI isn't as good. Wow, it's already been 45 minutes. Wow. This is probably going to be a longer video. So the GUI didn't work or whatever. The GUI wasn't as good, and so I had to learn all that stuff and edit in, position the photo up and down and position it, and then I had to learn how to make a thumbnail and my thumbnail generator that generates pictures of me from my video, so I can take a snapshot of my video while it's playing or whatever. Went down, the website like crashed or it stopped working or it showed a 404 editor, so I had to find another one of those, which I found one on GitHub. There was like a link to a GitHub one, and I used that cloud source or whatever, and that was fine. And then I was like, how do I edit a thing into it? And then I had to find out about Canvas, and I had to edit the two photos together, so I had to have like one portrait and then that portrait, and I had to like slim down or crop the selfie picture of me and then post it into the area of my hand or whatever, so it shows that or whatever. That took a ton of time, a ton, like 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours. And so that was also what I was doing Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday. So, and then after that, so this is going over everything I've done. That day, my bank accounts all came in. So I use credit cards to pay for everything except for my rent. I pay my mom. I give her 115, $30 or whatever through my checking. I like send it to her directly through my bank account. Everything else I pay credit cards with. So I pick a day before all of my credit cards come in and I pay them all off. And so I did that. And so that was what I did. I also started doing push-ups. So I had 5 push-ups every single day. So I started out with like 30, 35 push-ups, and I started adding 5 push-ups every day. And so I'm at 40, 45. No, I'm at 50 today. Yesterday was 45. I'm at 50. I'm starting to break it up. I used to do it all in one go, and then I'm starting to break it up because it's a lot harder to do. I also recorded all of the books I want to read on my Goodreads account. I might link my Goodreads account to that. So I started doing what the Wayne Project does is he makes a list of all the books he wants to read, and then he reads them. And he makes that as a record. And he makes a review of them. I want to do that. So I had to create a Goodreads account on that, and I started recording a lot of the books I want to read. And I found out all of Kindle Unlimited, you can do a reader assistance program. And I have Kindle Unlimited. I don't have money to spend on a lot of books, so I have to use the Kindle Unlimited books, which sucks. I can't wait till I get a better job before I can start buying more books on the Kindle. And I started to use audiobooks. I consider my makeshift audiobook the quality isn't good. It's like a reader assisted mode or whatever. So it's not as good, but I think it works for me. I started listening to books as long as I can on that. And that allows me to get work done while I'm listening to, books. And so that's the things I've done. And then the main thing I've also been doing is studying for my accounting class. So I got my Excel class done with, and then I have my accounting class. And then those were the five classes I had to do for the term, the 6 month term. I can do extra. And I'm doing extra because I'm trying to get my degree in a couple months. And so my mentor, because at YGU you get a mentor or whatever, updated it so I have two more classes to take. And so I started studying accounting, and it's hard. Accounting is hard. I have to admit, it's not like you memorize something. You have to really critically think. And it's not that it's hard for me specifically, but I'm having to dedicate a lot of time to it. So it's not hard. I don't think it's hard at all. Now that just might be me. I've been reading stuff where people like this makes no sense or whatever. Other business majors in YGU have to take like one or two accounting classes and like this stuff makes no sense. And I've been going through the course so far and I was like, everything makes sense. And maybe it's because I had an accounting class before when I went to UCF, accounting class, but I don't think it's that. So I know some of it, but it's just a lot of work to go through. I'm going through all the modules for this because I really want to understand accounting. The problem is I want to get the degree as fast as possible. So I only have like a week or two to study all this stuff, or 2 weeks max for per class. And so I've been doing like 5 hour days of studying or 3 to 5 hours of studying per day. And those are my work days. So that's been taking up a lot of time on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because that's by the time I had really started tracking my progress and whatever and all my time. So it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I started to do that and I increased my timing, my training time in accounting. So I studied more in accounting. And the crazy thing is why I said my productivity has been so high is I don't really study after work, or I've never really done anything after work. I'd come home from work working in fast food and I'd be super exhausted. So I just watch YouTube videos or do anything that's fun to pass the time. But the last couple days I've had work, all I've been doing is coming home, changing as fast as possible, taking a shower and doing all that stuff, painting and doing my dual and back training because I want to do that first. And then I've been, studying accounting for all the last couple days. So that's like the hard part is I really want to know a lot of it. And so I'm learning a lot of stuff and some of it's coming back, but it's taking so long. And that's what's been taking up most of my time is the accounting class. Now after accounting, I we're going over other stuff. I have two more things to talk about. Well, two more things and then life progress for the next week. And it's already been 52 minutes. Wow, this is might be a 2 hour video. I don't know. And probably YouTube progress won't take too long. It'll probably be an hour and a half. It'll probably be my longest video. So after studying accounting, I also, in the last couple days, have done, specifically the last 3 or 4 days, have started my mega post. So if you don't know, my mega post is basically the prep I use for, it's cold in here, for my Thursday video, my information based video that I do 2 videos a week. I don't know about that because it's been so hard to do that. And I'm running out of info that I can do or problems that I can solve in my life on Thursday. So I know I said I would do videos every Tuesday and Thursday, and it'd be a live progress every week or whatever. I might stick to doing weekly progress videos once a week, and then the Thursday videos might not be info based. It might just be inspirations or musings about life. I don't really think I can do more of these info based videos. It's so hard on me, and I really want to do it right for you guys because the other two videos were good, but they weren't as scripted. And these videos are meant to be more scripted. I'm not in the way that like everything I say is like all edited and everything. More like I know what I'm doing. I've structured out the whole video, whatever. And what Dan Co recommends is you make a blog post or a newsletter or whatever, and then you repurpose that into a YouTube video. And I agree on that. And I want to write this stuff down too. And so, as I was, especially as a dear topic to my heart, and the topic I was writing about is how you resonate with music. And I'm making a YouTube video on this and on Thursday, so in 2 days. So I won't talk about much about it. I'll just talk about the benefits of it. Some benefits of it. I've had increased mental stability. It's what brought me out of my depression, and I use this ability to regulate my emotions. So it's an incredibly valuable emotional intelligence skill. I know I'm going to talk about that. I have an emotional intelligence class now. I don't know if this was unique just to me or not. I think it kind of is the methodology I use and the focus I use on that I put into it. I think is unique to me. It's my spin on it. It's basically how I use the music to influence my emotions. And so I just wanted to make a post about that. And it's a very long post. And so I have to do a lot of writing for it. And so I've been doing that for like the last 2 days. Now I slacked off on Monday. I want to talk about that. That was a mistake. I slacked off on Monday, didn't do much. I only did dual and back training and I did my painting on Monday. And the rest of the day I slacked off, YouTube videos, reading fiction books or whatever. So I slacked off. I didn't even do any accounting work. And so I haven't gotten to that. But my mega post takes a couple hours to do. And then I have to make the YouTube video. But yeah, it's a basically emotional intelligence technique to analyze your emotions and then also change them once you analyze them and you use music as an external environment to change your emotions. So it's not like you're just using music to analyze your emotions. You're also using music as an external device to change your emotions, your mood, your feelings for the day. And there are drawbacks, and I talk about this in the video for it, and I will talk about that later in the next video on Thursday. So that's what I've been doing. And then today, right before this video, I passed, or I didn't pass, I did the first task for my emotional intelligence class. So you have to take an emotional intelligence class for YGU, that's one of the classes. And I just finished task one. I'll probably do task two tomorrow. I also have to study for accounting, and so that's going to be majority of my day. So I did that. That took about 2 hours today in the morning, and so I did that 2.5 hours or whatever. I did that. So that was pretty much. Well, there is one thing is I've started to look at where I'm moving, and I've decided to move to Charlottesville in North Carolina. It's one of the biggest growing cities in America. I chose a city that has a good financial backing, a good financial market business place, because there'll be more jobs for accountants there. And I want to move to a bigger city or near a big city so there are more activities I can do. So, for example, there will be art classes that I can take in Charlotte or whatever because it's such a big city. So there's got to be art classes or whatever. Or I can learn boxing because there's an actual boxing gym near me when I moved to Charlotte. But I live in Navarre, which is like 45 minutes from Pensacola. So there is a boxing gym in Pensacola or whatever, but that's traveling 45 minutes every day that I go boxing or whatever. And so there's a way that works around it, but I don't want to do that. So I'd rather have a boxing place that's like max 30 minutes away from my house. And so that's why I'm moving to a city for more opportunities. Basically, that's how I'm doing it is more opportunities and to try and make new friends because I don't really have a lot of friends right now in real life or even in online or whatever. You guys hope with the online, I got to figure out real life. And so that's why I'm moving to Charlotte. So I've been starting for like an hour a day looking at chart lists. I'm looking at renting. I've determined my rent, so the max I can pay is 1,200 a month. Even when I get my accounting job, I don't want to spend so much money on that. I want to spend more money on investing in myself. And so as long as I can get like a studio apartment for that price, and I've found studio apartments for that price, I can. invest the rest of the money back into myself. I want to get Invisalign for my back teeth because my back teeth have gotten crooked. Well, my top my are crooked now, but my top teeth aren't because I have a wire retainer, permanent wire retainer behind my top teeth. The bottom one they fell out a couple of years ago in college or whatever, and I never got replaced because the orthodontist guy I went to was like, "Oh, it's fine," or whatever. Your teeth haven't shifted. And I was like, "No," or whatever. And then he was like, "Oh, it's fine." Like I went into an appointment. He was like, "Your teeth haven't shifted, but over the last couple of years, they have shifted a little bit. They're not perfect anymore, and my teeth are top ones are. I probably don't have to worry about it because most people see my top teeth. So I want to do that, and I want to get LASIX for my vision. I don't know about that because I hear it does have dangerous side effects if you do get the side effects of it, and it could ruin my vision. So it could be, I don't know about that, but I want to invest more. Like I want to take watercolor art classes because I'm painting in watercolor. I want to get better at art faster and meet more people who have the same interests as me. So I might as well take classes for it. But I can't do that with, the money I have now. I don't have any money and I want to have a bigger place to rent so I can, build up a library of books or whatever. And so I I'm doing that. So that's really what I've been. Okay, it's already been an hour, but I've really covered everything life progress wise. Yeah, I've covered everything. But so now we're going to talk about the YouTube progress. So YouTube progress, I've gotten up to 9 subscribers. I think it was like seven or it was eight. It might be the same. I don't know. I didn't really look at it. 9 subscribers. The last couple videos, I've been averaging about 8 or 9 views. I think sometimes 10. My skincare is still my best performing video by far. I thought the fitness video, my diet video, would go further, but I didn't. I think it might have been the title because I was doing like transformation after eating fast food or whatever for 2 years or whatever, and the fast food part was like out of the title part, or you had to expand the title to see it all. So I was like, maybe you can't see it on mobile. So I changed it like 2 days ago to like, or a day ago to like fast food, how I did it, how eating fast food diet, how I did it for 2 years or whatever. And then you see the picture of me holding up, me shirtless or whatever. So it could be that. We'll see in the next couple days. I don't know. I don't really care about views. It'd be nice to have more views, but I think it's okay. I don't expect to monetize this for another couple of years. I might get more. And so I'm doing that. That's mainly been the YouTube video progress. I haven't really gotten any more comments, so it's a surprise no one responded to the comments I posted. I have been seeing though, I've gotten a couple of returning viewers. That's good. They're continuing watching my videos, and I think some of those might be subscribers, some of them might not. It's only been a couple. So my total views is like probably like I think 720 or 50 or something. I don't know. I haven't looked at it in the last couple days, except for the day I posted yesterday on Monday. I looked at it really quickly, but I didn't really analyze it like I used to before, where I always watch the metrics or whatever and be like, oh, what's my retention rate or anything. I would have been more natural with it, but also I really don't have the time. I've been getting like 5 hours of sleep, 5.5 hours. That's why you see the eye bags. Yesterday I got 7 hours of sleep waking up, basically, which was very good because I had been getting 5 hours and 30 minutes. And so I switched that to, and today I got more sleep, but I still didn't get a lot. I got like 6 hours of sleep. And I had to feed the dogs and everything, let them out for a little bit. I had to play with him yesterday because one of my dogs, if you don't play with him, he starts whining the whole night. And usually my parents take care of him. My dad, who's retired now, takes care of him, whatever, but they're on a trip. They're coming back today later on at like 8 p.m. or whatever. And so I've been taking care of the dogs and feeding them and everything. And so that's been taking up time. However, but but yeah, I did the video. Let's get back to the video progress, not life progress. We're on YouTube progress. And so I'm running out of YouTube ideas for the hour info-based video. So it might switch in between to when I have more problems to solve and I've solved more of my problems. Like I was considering on doing one on my cognitive training, which is my dual back end training, that's what I call it. And but I was like, it's only been like a couple days. I've gotten results, yeah, but I haven't seen the long-term effects of it. So I was gonna wait like 6 months to a year to do it because that's what the Reddit say, or a lot of the people say. Infinite IQ, that's what he says is wait a year or two. He even says like it's dual back in training. You're not gonna get as good training in the quad or whatever. And he probably is right, but I can't handle quad one probably. I've never tried it before inputs. No, I can't do it. So YouTube wise, I don't know about the info based videos, except for the one coming in this Thursday. Now, after that next Thursday, the next Thursday, so not this Thursday, next Thursday, I might do like a musings video. I might start looking up YouTube videos to find inspiration or writing down ideas for videos. I may do that. So I might talk about some ideas for videos. I don't know. We'll see. My idea creation has gotten better because, like I said, RAM, short-term memory also helps you connect ideas, and so you're more creative with the dual back training. At least that's what I've heard. And so I'm gonna do that. Now I have heard dual back in training. A lot of people say, oh, the science hasn't proved it or whatever. Well, I found out a lot of those studies are flawed. Like the people aren't motivated. It's just students who are getting paid $10. They're not doing it to increase their cognitive ability. And it's only like a short-term project. I don't know about me. Maybe it was because I had an injury or something messed up, or my wiring for short-term memory was really bad, or I hadn't used it for really long. So, like I said, I want to make a video on that, but that'll probably be in 6 months to a year. We'll see. By that time, my life had completely changed. I'll have financial security, investing it in other activities. So I'll have more to talk about, more problems because I'll be moving to a city, so I can talk about that. So that'll be Thursday. So think about it, the a tuning day, Thursday, and then next Thursday, I don't know. So that's YouTube progress. I have switched up to the weekly progress videos. So instead of doing like video logs or whatever, it is weekly because I'm doing it every Tuesday. This is always going to happen. It's just my video log. I'm going to do that. And so I've switched that up to weekly video log or not weekly video log. I keep saying that. No, weekly update. And this will be the second one. So this is a weekly update too. So that's YouTube update. It's been 1 minute or 1 hour, 6 minutes. So I just want to ask, is my articulation gotten better? Do I have a lot of ums and ahs or so, or, oh, I forgot this train of thought. I'm not really doing that a lot this video. And I think the cognitive abilities of my dual back training have increased my articulation. And I noticed it especially on the previous video. So hopefully that'll attract more video viewers for me and for the channel and for you guys to interact with other YouTubers, other YouTube subscribers, other so I've gotten a couple more subscriptions. So like I said, 7 to 9, I think. And I've seen on the subscription, most people are like private, so it doesn't show who subscribes to you, but two people do. So I guess it's because they release that information to the public or to them or whatever. So I got to see that. I got to see the two people who have subscribed to me and then the other seven who haven't, who are private or whatever. I respect that. You can be private all you want. So I was just saying I got to see those two who subscribed to me. Now they were like personal channels or whatever, so they didn't have a lot of subscribers. I think one had more subscribers than me because he had like music playlists or whatever, but I only have like 9. He had like 40 or whatever. You can probably see who's subscribed to me publicly, so you might be able to see that. I don't know, but I really want to know that question. Am I articulating better, or there's not as many pauses, or I'm trying to think over my words or whatever. I really noticed that in the videos. At least I've noticed it. Maybe I'm biased or whatever. Just let me know. I'd rather have an outside opinion. Maybe you have more insights to how I've changed or how my communication style has changed. And so that's the YouTube progress is the YouTube videos have changed titles. So weekly update videos instead of video log 3 or whatever. I might make it into a playlist. So I might start to switch them up. So you have the info based playlist and then you have your weekly update video playlist, and then you have my musings, my daily ideas, uh, topics or whatever. We shall see. Just let me know if you note anything about the different quality of the video, or you think something's changed. Maybe you can't describe it. Just say something's changed. I don't know, or just anything. What's a good video idea? What's some good problems to solve or whatever. I don't really have much to do, so that's like my YouTube progress thing. Let's get to the end of the video. We're going to be talking about the things I got to do for the next week. So, for the next, sorry, I'm yawning. Like I said, I have not gotten a lot of sleep. I have not gotten a lot of sleep. So, there are a couple things to do after the video. I got to study for accounting because I slacked off on Monday, which is a mistake. I'm going to admit that. That was a mistake. I will show my mistakes on what I did wrong in the last week too. That was a mistake that I did. I didn't study for accounting, and so I need to do that. So I'll be spending more time on accounting. I hope to pass the pre-assessment either today or tomorrow, probably tomorrow or Thursday. I could do the pre-assessment Thursday, and if I do really well, I'll just take the test on Thursday. I only have 2 days for testing, except for maybe Monday. Sometimes they give me Monday off. I keep burping. I don't know why. I usually get Monday off. Sorry. I usually get Monday off or something starting because I'm starting to get Monday off because the summer has ended, so they don't need as many people. They don't need as many uh people even being hired. They're slowing down on hiring. So we shall see. But I only usually have Tuesday and Thursday for testing. And so I'm trying to get the accounting done class done in like 2 or 3 days. And so I can take the test on Thursday, pass it, and then I can start other classes. I started the emotional intelligence class. I was gonna just fully study accounting, but then I was like, well, if I fail the pre-assessment on Thursday or Wednesday or whatever, and I have to study even more, and then I can't take the test on Thursday because I've been studying so long and I don't want to take the test on Thursday. I'll have to wait till Tuesday. So I've been doing the papers, doing the assignments. That's where there's two assignments for emotional intelligence and two more for business ethics. That's the two classes my mentor released to me, and it's basically 4 paragraphs per task. Okay, at least for emotional intelligence. And so you have to do 4 paragraphs in a template or whatever, and you answer 4 questions or whatever. Two of them are about improving your self-awareness or your emotion regulation. So your self-regulation, how you regulate yourself, your emotions, your moods, your thoughts. Same thing, and emotional intelligence. That's like a main one. That's like the pillar is knowing yourself. So knowing what causes what emotions or whatever the patterns in your behavior. So what makes you angry, what makes you sad, happy, all that stuff. And you got to make two intrapersonal. So inside, I think that's right. I think that's the word. Inside behaviors that you could change to increase that. So increase your self-regulation or your self-evaluation. That's what I call them. And you got to do two of those, and each solution has to be a paragraph long, and you got to mention like a study. I did that, and then I had to do two more that were on communication styles that improve intra or interpersonal relationships. So improve your management of relationships and or your social cues, so you understand what people are saying or how they're feeling or whatever. Had to do those two, and I did that. And then that was the first task. And then the second task has to do about like your core values and all this stuff and everything. And that will take a little bit longer. So I'll probably do that tomorrow. And I just want to get both of those two classes done by Tuesday along with my accounting class, because then I can have another two classes. And if I finish those two classes, or I want three, preferably three, because if I finish those two classes by the end of the week, it'll be September and I would have had 10 classes done. And so I now are 1/3 of the way done with my degree with that. Now, technically, it's 1/4 because I transferred in classes. So it's basically 40 classes that I have to take. 10 of them got rid of because I transferred in classes, and then 10 of them I'm about to get done with by September, and then I'll have 20 classes, and I'm moving out in October 1st or whatever, and I want to get 10 more done. And so when I move over for I move to Charlotte's, I'll have a month, and that month is to find a place to rent and basically get all of my classes done, and then I'll find a job after the first month because then I'll have an accounting degree. So I don't want to go for an internship and then the next month I graduate. And then it's like, well, I'm getting paid under the amount I should. I want to graduate and I have to move out in October just because of external circumstances. And so I really have to. And so I'm trying to get my degree as fast as possible. So once I move to Charlottesville on October 1st, I'll then have 30 days to complete my 10 classes and I'll have, 40 hours a day. I'll have basically 80 hours a day just for those classes. I can get that out really easily. And so that's what I have to be doing is I got to keep on track for that. I got to finish my emotional intelligence stuff, business ethics, and I got to finish my accounting. If I have everything by Tuesday, you'll see that in the update video. I finish all of my classes. I'm on track. I might switch if accounting, if I fail the assessment or whatever, then I'll switch to probably Thursday. I'll take the accounting class and I'll add, and then I'll take another two classes that my mentor sent me after I finish because should finish no matter what business ethics and emotional intelligence by Tuesday. And so my mentor will send me two more classes while I'm taking accounting. I was going to say finance while I'm taking accounting. And so even if I fail the accounting, I'll still have those two classes knocked away, and it'll probably send me two more. It's a she. She should send me two more. So that's the main thing. I gotta still do painting and dual and back training. Those are like my daily schedules along with like my skincare, whatever. I'm trying to build that up. So I'll do counting. I gotta do the blog post and the video on Thursday, and then Tuesday will be a weekly update. And I also gotta do some scripting for some stuff on Thursday or whatever. So I'm trying not to do. I might not do an info-based video, but I might will. It sees on what my scripting is, so like what I decide to do in the next couple days. Yeah, I might do something weird and then like let's make a video on it that's an hour long. We don't know. These hour-long videos are really hard on me because I gotta have all this like info or I have to have all these new experiences or new things I'm doing. So we shall see. But that's basically it for the next week. There's nothing really big I'm doing. I got to get a birthday card from my dad after this, after my accounting study, because he's coming home and from the trip with my mom, and so they went to Texas or whatever, and I got to get a card for him, and I didn't get one earlier because his birthday's on Sunday, and I could have gotten him a card on Sunday, but he wasn't here, so I put it off. I delayed it. I was slacking off on Monday. I should have done it Monday. And so I have to do it today. So I have to go to Walmart to get him a card. And I got to study. Those are the two things I got to do today. And then hopefully I pass the OA, which is the practical exam for accounting. That's the real big worry. The emotional intelligence and the business ethics classes are easy. Like I don't worry about those, but the accounting class I really worry about. I think I'll get through it or whatever. Even if I failed, I can always take it. It's not like accounting's like I can't stand it or I can't understand it. It's like it causes errors in my brain or whatever, like a computer gets errors. No, it's nothing like that. And so I'm not really worried too much about it, but I'm still worried about it because I want to still be on track for my degree. And so that's everything I've been doing. And I'll probably be studying more about Charlotte's and what and the local resources. I'll talk about that like when I'm doing to prepare for Charlotte, moving to Charlotte. But it's already been an hour 18, and so the video has to end somewhere, and I have to do some work or whatever. It's 12:17 now. So I started the video at 11. So just tell me your thoughts, any thoughts. I'll take any thoughts. Just tell me that. Tell me tell me your thoughts. DM me on Discord or whatever. Join my Discord or just email me. I'll see it. So that's it. Anything else? No. So it's goodbye. I always do this like hand waving or whatever. I'm probably gonna keep it. I just like it. It's a little so that's goodbye. Have a great day. Have a fantastic week. Like seriously, I have a fantastic week the last week and I hope it keeps getting better and better. So good luck. Like, I hope you achieve your goals. This is out. This is Tyler Van Druden out. Goodbye.